Welcome to Net Worth Tracking with Yappy. It's the 1st of November. That's what we have on our screen right now. I think at this point, I've been working at Superseed. I was quite happy with the job actually. It was like Haskell. I enjoyed colleagues. I love the tech stack, and in fact, I was learning a lot as well about like Haskell and because they used different technologies than we used at Daisy, because the ones I used for my own startup, I learned tons of new things. Unfortunately, I do remember that in the beginning of Superseed, I had some issues with colleagues. However, at this point, I was prepared, right? I know how to solve conflicts at this point because I've dealt with angry customers. I've dealt with that called me at 11 p.m. at night and were just like angry about using the app. Or I've dealt with architects that throw tantrums and fire you randomly. I've dealt with all this shit, so I know how to deal with conflicts, and I dealt with conflicts, and it worked out. Like the people that were throwing a tantrum at me, they essentially fired themselves, so they quit, and I remained. So yeah, I made progress. Like stop being fired, Yappy. Anyway, let's go over the numbers actually, because now the numbers start to become more interesting and the stories are becoming like a little bit more dull because it's just mostly working, right? I got like 80 euros in cash. I got like 6,400 euros on the checking account. I got another 8,000 on the N26. And the strategy here is that like some of the money in the checking accounts is just emergency fund. So I have some money in the company account because I want to like have some company expenses covered. I got some money on the personal account to deal with like personal issues, and I can transfer money between these quite quickly. It's like a day in between them, and between ING and ABN I can transfer really quickly. I'm not sure why there's so much money on ING actually, but I think it's mostly used for mortgage. Accounts receivable, I don't know, there's probably some stuff in flight. Who knows? The stocks, I finally figured out how to sell these running stocks I still have there, and I'm like piping it all over into interactive brokers. So this Superseed shares will just like keep on going like around 3,500 a month, and these are a lot less liquid than other stocks, so we don't see any volatility in them. They only change in value if there's like a fundraising or they go to the market. An IPO, and the IPO will only happen once, and we don't know when it happens, and the fundraising only happens when they run out of cash, which hopefully never happens. But I know for a fact that they'll soon do a fundraising, but nobody said anything about it. By the way, once this video is published, it's already public knowledge anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, so they will do, I'm recording this on the 4th of June, and they'll do a fundraising in 2 days. So 6th of June. Yeah, so this 64,000 euros on interactive brokers. I think this is mostly... I was definitely picking stocks at this point. I was picking like oil companies essentially because oil got really suppressed in Corona time, and it made me a ton of money. Most of these companies doubled in values during this time. So I was like picking stocks wisely. But all the stocks went up actually. So I could have just bought an index fund and be fine. But yeah. Also, I made a lot of money on gold miners because gold went gigantically up in price. Oil remained best in price, so yeah, that kind of stuff. And this is just all like information I kind of gathered by watching tons of videos about markets. I don't think this is a good way to do trading, but that's what I did. I also read some annual reports, and I think actually reading those annual reports is kind of fun, but I just don't have the time to do that, With a normal software job, I don't have the headspace to do both reading of annual reports and doing my normal programming. Anyway, Cardano and Ethereum do what they do. It's just, I can't believe I held on so long on this crap, I should have just never gotten into it. But the reason I keep complaining about Ethereum and Cardano is because they're like baseless things. And I think they're just incredibly risky to keep. They could go to zero any moment, essentially. Anyway, the student debts, they remain the same because, there's no interest on them. they'll be interested in like 2023 or something, and it's like, you know, €5 per quarter or something crazy like that, which is great. And then the mortgage on ING. So this is the house being paid off slowly with minimum payments. And then we can see our net worth changed. We went up with another 15k. So, you know, we are crushing our best. Well, we crushed our best in the previous quarter, and we closed to it again this quarter. So yeah, we're doing really, really well. And that's because, you know, we just have higher income consistently. And we're not doing like stupid shit essentially. It also helps a lot. If we just like, I mean, I wish I did index funds. I don't think I did index funds at this point, but yeah, I'm not gambling. So I'm taking some risk, but it's not. I'm still like spreading out. So even though I'm picking stocks, they're like, there's not like a lot of money in a single stock essentially. And that's good. Actually, I recently learned about this, that you have like sufficiently diversified portfolio if you have, you know, if you spread your money across like 20 stocks. That's like as good as 500, right? Like the additional spreading doesn't really help you more. Well, I guess it depends on the size of your portfolio, but for most people, it will be like something like that. Anyway, if you like the video, please like the video. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment and see y'all later. Bye.